Do I probably need to get an assistant to watch all these goddamn TLC shows? Probably, because there's, I don't know how many. I mean, there's too many to count. And I almost feel like this summer I might take a break for a hot second, because Welcome to Plathville will be back in August, season 5. Then Sister Wives is going to have an enormous season this fall. But now, I mean, I'm burnt out with 90 Day. We just got over 90 Day the other way. And I don't know, part 3 of the reunion, I'll get into it. I did not think it needed 3 parts. Obviously, they make it 3 parts. It's just good for money, right? It's like drags it out. It's good for money. They can drag out people's storylines, but people's storylines were way, way too long on 90 Day Fiance the other way, as far as I'm concerned, this season. Like, it almost annoys me the way that 90 Day Fiance tell-alls do the tell-alls. Because, like, all right, episode 1, right? They start out, there's 5 couples. They start out with featuring or highlighting maybe 3 of the couples, and it's over an hour. Do we need over an hour for just to get through like 3 couples? Like, these people, it's not that much shit happening. You know what I'm saying? This isn't Scandival, where they were like cheating on each other for months and keeping secrets. You know what I mean? They're all like usually fighting about religion. Okay, that's bottom line. 90 Day Fiance the other way, 90 Day Fiance anyway. They're usually fighting about religion or the family hates them. Okay, one of the other. So now on part 3, which aired this past Sunday night on 90 Day Fiance Tell All Part 3, we go almost backwards, where we rehash more of Mahmoud and Nicole's relationship, and everyone is telling Nicole to leave. Now, you guys have seen, if you follow 90 Day the other way, you've seen Nicole's very much with him. He just landed here in Los Angeles literally like 10 days ago. So they are now making their relationship a go here in America. They're still 100% married. And, you know, the strangest part is they bring up this cheating incident, you know, which again, all this could have been hashed out like in their one session in part 1. All right. Because he didn't really cheat. He just like sort of online entertained this chick where he was like, how old are you? You know, what are you doing? And we see he and his brother laughing about it, because in their minds, it's so ridiculous. And when they're under pressure, they laugh. And of course, everybody on the cast is like, you guys are assholes. Like, why would you be laughing in Nicole's face like this? But the bottom line is Nicole loves Mahmoud. All right. She's clearly in love with him. We brought out the brother, you know, and that's the other thing. Like, they drag out a family member. Okay, fine. You know, but the family members need to like, they could be also done in like 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? 5 minutes. And maybe, right, and Osama didn't really have much of a storyline after they've broken up. They've been broken up for a while. Miss Debbie, you know, and again, like I told you guys, the first part of it, I was so annoyed with Debbie. Debbie was like pain in my ass. You know what I mean? She just seemed like she seems like now she's too much of a fame whore. Sorry, Debbie. I'm sure you listen. And Debbie, shout out to you, because Debbie is like loving the fame. Debbie's a great character, but no, Debbie's like getting to be too much. It's just like, she now like enjoys the fame, the over the top crystals that, you know, I loved her when she was with Osama, but it's just, now it's like a character of herself. And all these individuals, you know, I mean, I guess they do this with every franchise, every show, Vanderpump Rules. They all get up there. I mean, they all have a bazillion skeletons in their own closet, right? They're all have made poor choices, like in every aspect of life. That's why they're on reality TV. And then they all like pass judgment on everybody else. It's so good. Jen and Rishi, we know, are still 100% together, despite Jen giving Miss Debbie's son her phone number. And by the way, okay, so Jen's like telling Rishi like his parents suck and telling his mom to fuck off because his mom has an issue with Jen's age. Do we really think that Miss Debbie would be like a great mother-in-law? Miss Debbie to me seems like she wants all the spotlight. And if anybody else had spotlight, like Debbie would be, oh my God, toodaloo and singing to you to sing right out of there with her son. I'm sorry. This is like another Colty and Debbie situation from 90 Day Fiance. That's exactly what Miss Debbie feels like. People are saying they were annoyed with Tim and Veronica being the 90 Day Fiance kind of special guests. I enjoyed Tim's commentary a lot. I actually felt like Tim and Veronica, I don't know if they didn't have a lot to work with in this 3-part tell-all series, but I didn't actually feel like they were necessary this time. Seemed like on Single Life, Tim and the other guy, who's the other guy that's really sweet? He's the gay guy that he pairs well with Tim. They were great, and their commentary in the past was really good. I didn't think that Tim and Veronica added that much. I like them both. I just, again, maybe they didn't have a lot to work with. I didn't find their commentary all that interesting. The part I agreed with Tim on was, Chris, our girl, Chris Foster, who says she is not on drugs, sweetie. Chris and Jayme, I'm with Tim. I have no clue what's happening in their relationship. Like, I guess Chris is outed as a liar, right? Because Chris had said, oh, I sent Jayme $10,000 in money. Jayme pulls up receipts. Sweetie, it was $1,700. And Tim was like, you ain't keeping a girl like that for $1,700, sis. And that was the truth. And those two are off. Danielle and Johan, I didn't really ever get into their storyline. I was sort of the least interested in those two. I don't know why. I just always, I don't know. It's something about them. Johan seems checked out. He just does. And Danielle, just bringing in the ex and everything. I don't know. For whatever reason, I wasn't particularly into their storyline. They're supposedly off. Supposedly, she put up an Instagram post just thanking him for the experience and how amazing it was, but they're off. And of course, Gabe, I guess the big moment is Gabe's sister shows up, and we sort of get to the bottom of why she didn't attend Gabe and Isabel's wedding, which was essentially Gabe has accused her of being the, kind of center point of why all his female relationships end, because I gotta say, his sister seems kind of jealous. Like, she seems jealous and possessive of him. I'm sure it's very deep rooted there with family issues, but Gabe's sister, it seems like a little petty, like a little controlling. I don't know. I feel like there was a lot more to that dynamic that I wish we'd gotten into, like a little bit more about their back childhood. They seem like those types of a love competitiveness relationship. You know what I mean? Gabe's sister seemed like if she couldn't control the situation, she was out. And it's like, well, why do you feel that way? What's going on in your own relationship? What about the dynamic? Did the mom kind of pit those two against each other as kids? It just seemed odd to me. Again, Debbie and Osama are off. Poor Osama had to sit through that 18-hour festival. He couldn't have given one fuck. My favorite part was basically last night when they turned to Osama and they were like, Osama, what do you think? And he's like, I didn't understand a word. And I thought, you know what? That sums up the entire part of this. So people are saying, on my TikTok, Catherine's saying, on your show, because I had Gabe on recently, his sister applied for him. I think that's weird. Catherine, I do too now. There is a bizarre dynamic there. Casey says, I think both Gabe and his sister are very dramatic. She seems very selfish. I kind of agree with all these comments. Danielle wants to escape God knows what and live in the islands with Johan. And Johan wants to live in America, so it's never going to work. I agree. They just didn't seem on the same page really at the tell-all.